Who is the elder sister? Lineage reconstruction, naming conventions, and the meaning of biographical silence. In attempting to reconstruct the lineage of Xin Qi, publicly available information offers little clarity on the paternal side. Attention therefore turns to the maternal line, where a cluster of rumors, omissions, and internal inconsistencies invite closer examination. Central to this inquiry is a seemingly narrow but consequential question. Is Tian Haiyan the elder or younger sister of Tian Hairong? This question matters because sibling order directly constrains the possible birth year of Tian Haiyan, and by extension, determines whether basic elements of the alleged maternal timeline are biologically and socially plausible. The officially implied narrative. Existing biographical entries state that Tian Hairong was born in 1975 and describe Tian Haiyan as her younger sister. Notably, Tian Haiyan's own birth year is omitted. She is described as married, yet no husband is identified. Taken together, these details implicitly place Tian Haiyan's birth after 1975. When applied to Xin Qi's birth in 1991, this creates a severe chronological problem. A woman born in or after 1976 would have been 15 years old or younger at that time, rendering marriage and childbirth not only socially anomalous in the early 1990s, but also legally and institutionally conspicuous. Such circumstances would normally leave documentary traces rather than the near-total silence now observed. The younger sister designation, therefore, is not a trivial biographical note. It functions as a structural constraint that quietly eliminates an otherwise plausible maternal link, shared sibling characters and naming asymmetry. While formal generational naming systems declined sharply after 1949, it remains common for siblings to share one identical character in their given names as a marker of family unity. In this case, both women share Hai, strongly suggesting sibling relationship even without invoking a traditional generational poem. The decisive contrast lies in the final characters. Haiyan is not merely a pleasant pairing of characters. It is a fixed lexical term, meaning storm petrel or sea swallow, with a strong literary and political connotation derived most famously from Maxim Gorky's prose poem, The Song of the Stormy Petrel, Haiyan, which became deeply embedded in Chinese educational and revolutionary discourse. In this tradition, Haiyan symbolizes courage, endurance, and confrontation with turbulent times. As a personal name, it is self-contained, metaphorically dense, and historically associated with women born in the late 1960s to early 1970s. By contrast, Hairong employs rong, a decorative floral character associated with softness and beauty. While common in women's names, it does not form a fixed phrase with Hai and carries no comparable symbolic or ideological density. Such names are often used to harmonize with an existing naming pattern rather than to define it. To assert that Haiyan is the younger sister therefore requires accepting that the more symbolically complete and historically situated name was given later, while the elder sibling received the softer, companion name. This is possible, but it runs against the dominant naming logic of the period. Restoring timeline coherence. If Tian Haiyan were instead born in the early 1970s, circa 1970-1972, multiple inconsistencies would immediately dissolve. She would have been in her late teens or early 20s in 1991, aligning with prevailing marriage and childbirth norms of the period, or at least with the social plausibility of childbirth outside of formal marriage. Her name would correspond to cohort-specific naming trends, and her position as the elder sister would conform to common sibling naming practices. Crucially, this alternative requires no extraordinary assumptions. It restores coherence rather than inventing exception. Names alone do not establish lineage. However, when shared sibling naming patterns, literary connotations, cohort-specific name usage, and basic chronology all point in the same direction, their combined weight cannot be dismissed. The claim that Tian Haiyan is the younger sister of a woman born in 1975 produces a timeline that strains biological and social plausibility, while the opposite ordering resolves those tensions with minimal friction. When internal cultural evidence consistently indicates one conclusion, yet public biographical records are curated to enforce another, The resulting contradiction suggests that the act of information tampering is itself more revealing than it was intended to be.